Men who chase meaning rarely find peace. At first glance, it sounds like a paradox. Who wouldn't admire a man with purpose, clarity, and conviction? But the truth is, meaning has a cost. It doesn't settle, it consumes. It demands solitude, sacrifice, and a willingness to be misunderstood. Great men don't live balanced lives, they live focused ones. And that focus creates distance from comfort, from companionship, from the familiar rhythms of everyday life. It's not that they reject love, they simply prioritize something more elusive, significance. History remembers those men not for being agreeable, but for being unrelenting. They weren't warm, they were relentless, they didn't fit in. They forged new paths. Take Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king, torn between duty and introspection. He ruled Rome with logic, not emotion, and his meditations weren't written for the world. They were reminders to himself, desperate attempts to stay sane in a world of chaos and vanity. He knew what few dare admit. A man devoted to principle is rarely admired in his time. He is doubted, tested, even hated, because the clarity he walks with forces others to confront their confusion. The modern world teaches men to seek validation, be liked, be open, be soft. But the man chasing truth cannot afford to be these things all the time. He must be resilient, stoic, because the path he walks is not paved with applause. Women and men say they admire vision, but vision has a consequence. It blinds you to the small comforts others crave. You stop noticing the dinner table conversations, the subtle need for emotional check-ins, the expectations of domesticated affection. Your eyes are fixed on the distant mountain, and that mountain doesn't care about your relationship goals. That's why so many driven men feel isolated, even when surrounded by love. They are not unreachable. They are simply on a frequency that few can tune into, because it's easier to love a man who is available than a man who is becoming something vast. The man of meaning is not safe. He is not predictable. He doesn't orbit your life. He builds his own gravity, and either you rise with him or you fall away. This is the silent tragedy of greatness. It doesn't make you lovable. It makes you threatening, not because you're dangerous, but because you remind people of their own unfulfilled potential. And nothing is more terrifying than a mirror that shows you who you could be, if only you were willing to suffer. So what happens? The man who refuses mediocrity is left with a choice: water himself down for affection, or accept that love may not follow him into the fire. Most men pick the former. Few can stomach the silence of the latter, but those few, they build legacies. They don't chase admiration. They chase alignment, not with others, but with their highest self. And that alignment often means walking alone, because people love the idea of greatness until it disrupts their peace, until it demands sacrifice, until it threatens the systems they rely on. And so the man of depth is told to soften, smile more, want less. But how can he? He's tasted purpose. He's seen what life could be, not in comfort, but in conquest, not of others, but of self. He doesn't seek domination. He seeks mastery, and that quest doesn't come with applause. It comes with silence. So, if you're a man walking that path, the one of quiet discipline, of daily self-battle, of unshakable vision, prepare to be doubted, prepare to be misunderstood, because you're not here to fit in, you're here to become undeniable. The world bows to conviction, eventually, but first it tries to break you. Stay unbroken.